Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja, Aimuyi Agmofwebe. President Bola Tinubu has called for strengthening of cooperation with France in addressing the prevailing threat of terrorism in the country. The president also commended the outgoing French ambassador to Nigeria, Emmanuel Blicknam, for her dedication to enhancing relations between both countries. In a farewell meeting with Blickman in Abuja, the president urged her to leverage her new role as Director for Africa to advocate the need to upgrade technical cooperation between Nigeria and her country to defeat terrorism and violent extremism. Vice President Kashif Shettima has assured that the success and positive impact of the newly established National Philanthropic Office, NPO, is guaranteed under the Tinubu administration. The VP gave the assurance on Friday during the inauguration of the local implementation committee of the office at the banquet hall of the presidential villa in Abuja. The NPO, an all-private sector initiative with full support from the government, is part of efforts by the Tinubu administration to raise alternative funding for small and medium-sized enterprises and other vital economic programs through collaboration with the private sector. Benue State government has commenced the distribution of fire extinguishers and enforcement of its usage in homes and public places across the state. Governor Hassan Thalia, while launching the project on Sunday in Makurdi, the state capital, said the Nigeria Fire Extinguisher Sticker project was meant to control fire and ensure prompt response to any fire incident. The governor explained that the project has provision for the servicing of fire extinguishers as part of efforts to not only ensure safety but also generate employment. Represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Joseph Alakali, alias said over 10,000 sustainable employment opportunity will be provided under the project. Let's take a look at other stories for you. Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, in the 2023 presidential election, has said he did not reach an agreement with President Bola Tinubu or anyone else in relation to the outcome of the Supreme Court verdict on the Kano State governorship election tussle. Kwankwaso stated this while responding to the allegation that he had reached an agreement with President Bola Tinubu before the judgment. On Friday, the Supreme Court had affirmed the NNPC's Abba Yusuf as duly elected governor of Kano State after a series of litigations. The federal government has backtracked on its decision to construct all federal roads using only rigid concrete pavements. Minister of Works David Umahi disclosed the policy reversal during a meeting with all contractors at the ministry's headquarters. This latest development comes several months after the minister directed all contractors handling federal government highways across the country to immediately dump the use of asphalt and adopt concrete technology. The announcement, which was met with stiff resistance from contractors, stalled the completion of several road projects. However, Umahi, meeting with all contractors in Abuja, the third of its kind since the minister assumed office in August of 2023, said the government did not ban the use of asphalt, but was trying to cut costs on its geometric pricing. The National Judicial Council, NJC, has clarified that no date has yet been fixed for the swearing-in of the newly appointed 11 justices of the Supreme Court. The council said that the purported news by an Abuja-based media organization suggesting Monday, January 16 for the inauguration of the justices did not emanate from it. A statement by the Council's Director of Information, Soji Oye, clarified that neither the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, who is the NJC chairman, nor the Council itself authored or endorsed the purported date. While asking members of the public to disregard the news, the NJC says that the date for the swearing-in of the justices would be made public at the appropriate time. The Nigeria Meteorological Agency, NIMET, and the Nnamdi Azikiwe University have signed a memorandum of understanding to build a weather station at the university. This was according to a statement by NIMET's General Manager, Public Relations, Montari Ibrahim, on Friday. The The MOU was signed by the Vice Chancellor of the school, Charles Esimone, on behalf of the institution's governing council, while the Director General of NIMET, Charles Anosike, signed on behalf of his agency at their office headquarters in Abuja on Friday. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Anosike urged the management of the university to take leadership in downscaling NIMET's annually issued seasonal climate prediction to farmers and other users in Anambra State and beyond. Human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called on the Nigeria police to conduct proper investigations into the case of brutality against lawyers in Lagos State. Falana made the call during a peaceful protests organized by members of the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA Lagos, against the unlawful arrests and detention of a lawyer, Olumide Sonukpe, by the police in the state. The lawyers, who are members of about 5 branches of the NBA, marched from its Ikeja secretariat while displaying banners to the command headquarters, where the State Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayoade, addressed them. You're watching News Cycle live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using a Global TV, NG, and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, Taiwan's president-elect vows to defend island from China threats. We have details of these and more stories for you right after this short break. We urge you to stay with us. This is cast of News Cycle with Uyag Mofwebe. Let's take a look at the foreign scene. Taiwan's president-elect Lai Ching-te vowed Saturday to defend the self-ruled island from what he called intimidation by China after voters defied warnings from Beijing and swept him to election victory. Lai, branded by Beijing as a threat to peace in the Flashpoint region, secured an unprecedented third consecutive term for the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, in Saturday's poll after a rancorous campaign in which he pitched himself as a defender of Taiwan's democratic way of life.
这场全球关注的大选，台湾告诉全世界，在民主 以威权之间，我们选择站在民主的这一边，这就是这场选战对全世界的意义。
Taiwan's China claims democratic Taiwan separated from the mainland by 180 kilometers, which is equivalent of 110 miles straight, as its own, and refuses to rule out using force to bring about unification, even if conflict does not appear imminent. Beijing, which before the poll called Lai a severe danger and urged voters to shun him, said Saturday the results would not stop the inevitable trend of China's unification. Italian Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini has defended his hardline approach against illegal migration during a court appearance in Sicily. He is facing kidnapping and dereliction of duty charges for preventing migrants from disembarking an NGO ship in 2019. He has denied the charges, saying he acted in the interest of national security. At the time, Salvini, leader of the right-wing League, was Interior Minister in a previous government. Ahead of his court appearance, Salvini said on X, formerly known as Twitter, that he was holding his head high and proud of what he did. The UK will provide £2.5 billion on military aid to Ukraine over the coming year. Rishi Sunak has said Britain's largest annual commitment since Russia's invasion. The Prime Minister made the announcement during a rare visit to the country, where he will also sign a new agreement supporting its long-term security. Officials say the package will provide Ukraine with long-range missiles, air defense and artillery shells. Some £200 million will be spent on drones, most of which will be UK-made. Officials said the military package for the next financial year, beginning April, would result in the largest delivery of drones to Ukraine by any country. Significantly, the Prime Minister has decided not to make a financial commitment lasting several years. The United States Marine Corps has assured Nigeria of strengthening the bilateral relations between both countries. Let's take a look at business for you now. Dangote Petroleum Refinery has commenced production of diesel and aviation fuel. However, the refinery has yet to produce petroleum motor spirits, which is known as PMS. The Chief Branding and Communications Officer of Dangote Group, Anthony Chejina, had late on Friday confirmed the commencement of operations. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment in Nigeria, Doris Uzoka-Anite, has underscored the federal government's commitment to bolstering the private sector as a key driver for job creation and economic development. The minister stated this at a strategic meeting with Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun as part of her tour to industries, where she emphasized the federal government's support for the state, highlighting the importance of gathering feedback to enhance nationwide industrialization. In his reaction, the governor expressed his vision of leveraging the state's proximity to Lagos to foster a conducive environment for public-private partnerships, otherwise called PPP. Now time to get excitement from sports. Super Eagles will begin their quest for a fourth AFCON title when they face Equatorial Guinea in their quest's first group fixture at this year's edition in Cote d'Ivoire, a match that is ongoing. The game is built for Sunday, 14 January 2024 inside the Alassane Ouattara Stadium in Abidjan. This is the first time both teams will cross paths in the Africa Cup of Nations, as they will also do battle in Group A with Cote d'Ivoire and Guinea-Bissau. Ahead of Sunday's encounter, Jose Percero's men will hope to maintain the dominance the Eagles have enjoyed over Equatorial Guinea, as they have secured wins in all three previous clashes. The Court of Arbitration for Sport has set January 19, 2024 as date for hearing on the appeal by World Athletics via the Athletics Integrity Unit, AIU, and World Anti-Doping Agency, challenging the first instance decision of the Disciplinary Tribunal in World Athletics versus Nigeria and world record holder in the 100 hurdles, Toby Amuson. While the AIU filed its appeal on September 15, 2023, World Anti-Doping Agency followed suit 2 days later, and both are seeking to get the Nigerian banned for whereabouts failures in 2023. The AIU had provisionally suspended Amuso in July 2023 and issued her with a notice of charge for an anti-doping rule violation. In a statement then on Twitter, now X, the Athletics Integrity Unit had said the charge would be heard by the Disciplinary Tribunal and determined before the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Pep Guardiola has disclosed that Manchester City's injured striker Erling Haaland is expected to remain sidelined until the end of January. Haaland has been absent from the team for the past 8 games due to a foot injury suffered in early December, posing a significant challenge to the City's quest for retaining the Premier League title. Initially hopeful for an early return in the new year, Guardiola acknowledged that Haaland's recovery is more complicated than anticipated. The 23-year-old has yet to resume full training, raising concerns for City. And that's a full circle on the news here on Global Television, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where our Star Times channel 276 kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using @Global TVNG and other handles. As you now see on your screen, I'm Muya Gumofwewe saying we appreciate your time with us on the news. We'll see you again on News Express.